This is ABC 7 at 5.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for ABC 7 at 5. I'm Paul Cicala. Marcel Clark has the day off. Let's get right into it. The weather can't seem to decide between heat or storms, and again, we are under an ABC 7 first alert. To Storm Track Weather we go to hear more about it, and here's ABC 7 Storm Tracker Ileane Robles filling in for Doppler Dave.
Hello, yes, and we are under ABC 7 first alert due to those storms and, of course, those extreme heats that we're going to be having throughout the week. Now, let's look at our current temperatures. As you see, we're 103 in El Paso, 102 in Las Cruces, and 103 in Deming. And, of course, those are the triples, and they're going to get hotter and hotter throughout the week, especially tomorrow, hitting 107. So let's see with the sidewalks and temperatures. As you see here, we're around 142 degrees and 137 degrees in Las Cruces and El Paso, 142. So this all means that if you're going to go out for a walk, might not be the time, especially because of your pets, because their little paws may get burned. So if you want to take your dog out for a walk, make sure it's around the evening and those temperatures hit on at least 145 and under. Now let's go to Paul.
All right, thanks a lot, Ileane. Good advice with the dogs out there. From our New Mexico mobile newsroom, we have complete coverage on the devastating floods in Ruidoso. ABC 7's Lauren Bly joins us live from Ruidoso. We'll get to her in just a few moments. And of course, Ruidoso officials are fearing that more rain this weekend could bring more flooding to the area. During a news conference this morning, officials said the number of damaged homes significantly grew. Earlier this week, they estimated 30 to 50 damaged homes, and today, they said it's actually between 200 and 400. New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham said the federal government is in contact with the state. Lujan Grisham said she expects $3 million in advance federal funding for Ruidoso, but she also expects as much as $15 million very soon and $100 million over the coming months.
The larger part of the resources will come from the federal government. Secretary Nome from the Homeland Security is, I think, intending on coming to this community.
A Fort Bliss soldier and his wife are still in the hospital with serious injuries from the floods. The family was camping at an RV park near the village of Ruidoso. Unfortunately, their two young children died, 4-year-old Charlotte and 7-year-old Sebastian Trotter. Sebastian Trotter, father of the children, is a U.S. Army soldier based in Fort Bliss. He and his wife, Stephanie, are expected to fully recover. Well, construction crews are starting to recover after the floods on Tuesday, and ABC 7's Lauren Bly spoke to one crew and joins us live from Ruidoso with much more. Hey, Lauren.
Hey, Paul. Well, I spoke to Ramon Nieto. He was rebuilding the bottom portion of this house right here behind me when on Tuesday those waters came, he said, out of nowhere. They actually rose to the second deck of that house. He says it seemed safe to come back and start on construction, and within minutes he saw that water rise quickly. Then just moments later, he saw trucks like these that you see flowing through the river. He saw pieces of RVs and full RVs following that. Nieto said he and his crew barricaded themselves in the second floor in the cabin until they felt it was safe to come out.
If it would have took out this cabin and if we were inside, we would have probably lost our lives. What about my mom, my sister, my guys' families? What would they have done if they lost us, you know? I mean, we didn't know what to do though.
And I want to give you a live look at the house actually right now. You can see cleanup is definitely underway. Do you see those two pickup trucks out there? Just a couple of moments ago, they were wedged between a couple of trees right behind this house, and now they're cleaning them up. And coming up on ABC 7 at 6, I had the chance to actually walk through the house and the damage that it sustained. You'll see that coming up on ABC 7 at 6. But for now, reporting live from our New Mexico mobile newsroom from Ruidoso, Lauren Bly. ABC 7.
All right, thank you for that update, Lauren. We'll see you in our next show. Thank you again. And now ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Doppler Dave is giving us extra perspective on how those floods grew so quickly. Doppler?
Well, yeah, we talk about the burn scars too. I mean, you get all that water and then you get the fire that develops as well. And that fire burns the ground and even the subsoil. So it eliminates all vegetation, you know, the trees and the grass and the plants and the brush just totally decimates it. And it leaves like a water repellent on the ground. And when the water comes, when we get all the flooding water, it's like putting wax on the ground. It just rapidly runs off. You get that charring effect, and that causes all the problems, all the flooding, all the mass flooding, all the problems with property and deaths as well. So that's how the burn scars work.
All right, thank you for that update, my friend. The state of New Mexico is urging workers affected by the floods to apply for unemployment benefits. The New Mexico Department of Workforce Solutions is waiting on federal funding to be able to approve to offer disaster unemployment assistance. In the meantime, individuals can apply for standard unemployment insurance benefits. You can visit any America's Job Center New Mexico locations or by phone at 1-877-664-6984, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. While continuing our complete coverage and assessment of flood damage in affected areas continues, and there's still questions about how and when alerts for the flooding were actually sent to the community. ABC 7's Andrew J. Polk is in Ruidoso with more.
Residents of the area tell me this is where the house that was seen in that harrowing footage of getting rushed down the river stood up until Tuesday. Now, the damage throughout this area is still pretty extensive. Not even much recovery able to be underway just yet. We're still seeing a lot of heavy equipment, some wildlife returning to the area, though, thankfully. But the damage here is still very evident. Not too far from that house, we see a bunch of sheet metal wrapped around a utility pole. We saw utility workers around here as well, assessing the damage, trying to see what it will take to get power, water, other services back. A collapsed carport over here. The most stark reminder of just how impacting, but in a very specific way this damage was, is that right behind me, not even half a mile away, is one of the main business streets here in Ruidoso, Sudderth, where there are still businesses open today, restaurants and tourists coming and going. There was also another house flattened in this same area, debris strewn about by the flooding. There are questions about what alerts were sent to people and when. I spoke with Mayor Lynn Crawford about the alerts that were sent out. He says that they did not use the sirens around town, some of which are still damaged from the wildfires a year ago, in order to not incite panic and make sure only affected areas were notified.
The message is from all the professionals: if you have a flood event and you're in a high area, you go get in your car and leave town. You stay where you're at, because the flood event comes and then it goes. And so the last thing we wanted to do was call for a major evacuation of the entire city.
Reporting in Ruidoso with our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom, Andrew J. Polk, ABC 7.
Thank you, Andrew. Great job with that walk and talk there. We've been bringing you live team coverage of the Ruidoso floods on air and on social media, like this one here. Here's ABC 7's Lauren behind the scenes of her reporting today. You can watch this video on our Instagram page at KVIA ABC 7 News. Also from our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom, Border Patrol at the Santa Teresa Port of Entry is welcoming a new director. Michael Quiñones was honored with a change of command ceremony this morning. The ceremony was complete with the posting of the colors and, of course, the pinning of Quiñones' badge.
The Port of Santa Teresa, it's a small community, but as you can tell, we're well invested, and we're here for the long run.
PD Quiñones says he looks forward to possibly upgrading the port's highway to 4 lanes. Well, defense attorneys for the August 3rd mass shooter received a multi-million-dollar paycheck. We'll break down their pay coming right up. And back to storm track weather. Now we have Eliane.
Yes, we're under ABC 7 first alert due to the heat and maybe some storms coming our way. So as you see here, it's going to get hotter and hotter throughout the week, with Friday and Saturday hitting 104 to 107 degrees. So let's prepare ourselves for that and stay tuned.
Know what to expect when you head out the door with Good Morning El Paso's Traffic Track.
a thriving restaurant and bike shop on El Paso's east side.
We had basically lines out the door.
But that came to a halt when road construction reached their doorstep.
We didn't think it would last this long.
ABC7 talks to La Huila about the impact the Montana widening project is having on their business.
Very frustrating. It's a little mind-boggling.
Is there any end in sight?
We have worked collaboratively with the businesses. Be patient.
Watch Construction Frustration tonight at 10, only on ABC7. Coverage for the New Mexico Mobile Newsroom is sponsored by Tawny, Acosta, and Chaparro, truck crash and injury attorneys.
Create your ultimate summer escape at Ashley's Summer Savings Event with hot buys for every room starting at just $199. And buy now, pay over time with no interest for 5 years when you buy in store. Only at Ashley.
The Shack Slice and Brew, where great food and good vibes meet. Step into our inviting outdoor area, perfect for soaking up the sun while enjoying your favorite craft beers from our selection of beer taps. Craving something delicious? We've got it all, from mouth-watering sandwiches and hearty pasta dishes to our signature irresistible pizzas. There's something for everyone at the Shack Slice and Brew. So what are you waiting for? Come visit us today and taste the difference. Great food, great brews, only at the Shack Slice and Brew.
Tired of the small pool? Same routines, same results? This summer, dive into something bigger at Western Technical College. Hands-on training, real career paths, and the skills to make waves in today's job market. Be a bigger fish in a bigger pond and actually love what you're doing. It's your future. Why not make a splash? Visit westerntech.edu and enroll today. Don't give up, rise up at Western Tech, college for the real world.
We're gonna be late for trial.
No, it's okay. I ordered a car. It's on the way.
Tawny, Acosta, and Chaparro, truck crash and injury attorneys. Call us now.
Create your ultimate summer escape at Ashley's Summer Savings Event with hot buys for every room starting at just $199. Plus, save up to 25% off your entire purchase, in-store only. Only at Ashley.
David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, the most watched newscast in America, and honored with the Emmy Award, winner for Outstanding Live News Program. More Americans watch World News Tonight with David Muir than any other newscast.
Welcome back. Defense attorneys for the August 3rd mass shooter got $1.3 million in a paycheck for representing him in federal and state trials. Federal court documents say 8 court-appointed private attorneys that defended Patrick Crusius in federal court totaled more than $745,000. The most prominent attorney, Joe Spencer, received more than $210,000 as the lead counsel. Felix Valenzuela received just over $220,000. Crusius pled guilty in 2023 to committing hate crimes, and he was sentenced to 90 consecutive life sentences in a state facility.